welcome back to my channel. This is Becky, and I'm going to continue talking about Archangel Metatron, the white ray. The focus again was spiritual evolution. So my collective is on this spiritual journey, trying to gain enlightenment throughout this transformation and transition in humidity, but also humanity. Because obviously there are bigger forces at play, and we're all trying to take what we've learned in our lifetime and make more sense of it. And so part of that has been for me to go outside of the bounds of religion, norms, and society's expectations, which often has caused me to suffer greatly for it. But it is all in my divine blueprint. And so one of the things that I'm hoping to do with this channel is to allow more people to step outside of what society is forcing them into, so they can step truly into their divinity. So with Archangel Metatron, we have parts of the body, so are all areas. He restores vibrancy, used as a cure-all. It is the most versatile and harmonizing of all the rays. He cleanses and balances the emotions. He brings inner peace and tranquility and allows us to wipe the slate clean. So even when people don't want to give us a clean slate, God and the archangels do. So it really does not matter what people have to say. He dissolves emotional debris and he refines the emotions. Some spiritual associations are the multidimensional. He brings spiritual growth to those who use it, and he prepares the physical third dimensional chakras as corresponding states of awareness for spiritual enlightenment. I know one of the things Archangel Metatron is trying to help me with is being able to come to peace with the 3D reality that I'm currently experiencing not being a match for my vibrational energetic field. And so people here do not understand me, and when people fear what they do not understand, they attack what they do not understand. And unfortunately, people do not understand why I've left organized religion and why I'm no longer attending church. It's because most of the people that I find in the churches, and I'm 50 years old, I've been doing this since I was small. Most of them are forked-tongued devils that are masked to look like they are doing God's work. I've sat in the prayer circles at churches and heard the women gossip about those in need, and I've heard them talk bad about people. So I know if they're talking bad about them, that when I leave that table, they're talking bad about me. Because there's been many times where I've needed the assistance. That's the whole reason why God brings us into community. So the very people that are praying for you are also then cursing you because of the power of the tongue, and jealousy and envy and greed and lust and all of those things interfere with the church body really being strong embodiments of what God intended it to be. It's become so corrupt, and they think that they're doing the right thing, and that's the sad thing, is that they've been brainwashed to believe that they are better than others when they're not. We are all equal in the eyes of God. All right, let me do, I was getting some channel messages, but when I was going by the book box to see what kind of free books we have, I came across this one. Seems interesting. It says Gods and Monsters. It's about star-crossed lovers brought together by fate or providence. So I thought that was pretty apropos for kind of where I'm at with my divine counterpart, because I know that we had met very briefly, and that the circumstances for both of us have changed over all these years, and that God's preparing us to come back into union now that we both have done our healing work, and our 3D realities have really shifted, because we've had to go through massive ego death after ego death after ego death in order to realize that on the inside, he and I do share one soul, one spirit, just operating in two different bodies, one very masculine and one very feminine. And when we met, I was very much in my masculine, protective, trying to take control of my life, and he was very understanding, but knew I gotta stay away from that woman. And now that I'm releasing things into God's hands, and I'm still not safe in this community, and people will say that's a limiting belief. No, it's a fact. There are men that want to punish me for not accepting their sexual advances or their love offers or to work for them, because they want me to be forced to build what they want me to build the way they want it built. And I'm like, no, Dobby's a free elf. I don't have a master other than God. And Jesus is my husband at this point, has been since 2018, and Jesus has been the best partner that I could have ever have been given the grace to have. And I don't even care if it means that I have to be homeless, sleeping in a car at 100 degrees temperature, not knowing where my next meal is going to be or how I'm going to get gas to get to the next place. That is a much better, safer environment for me than to be one of this community's pillars in the church and in the school system, and she's just so great and she's got money and look at the fruits of her labor, because these are all false light people. And the people that are of the true light, I've met a couple of them now, they feel like their hands are tied also. So the world is in a state of complete inversion, and those of us that want to get it upright are working against people and places and entities that really do not want us to make the wrongs right. So let's look at a couple of the channel messages I got. So some of these were also songs from the radio. So this one was Meet Me in the Valley by Tasha Layton. It says, you can't see grace for what it is until you need it most. You don't know what you really have until you lose it. You gotta lose it all. I've seen your goodness in the best, the worst, the joy, the hurt, every loss and every win. So I'm calling out again. Meet me in the valley. I need you, Lord. Be my shield in the middle of the war. Tell me that I'll make it when I'm not sure. You'll be faithful like you've been before. Meet me in the valley. If this is where the broken things are healed and brought to life, then lead me through the wilderness, but keep me by your side. I've seen your hand at work in the best, the worst, the joy, and the hurt. Every tear that hit the ground is a testimony now. Meet me in the valley. I need you, Lord. Be my shield in the middle of the war. Tell me that I'll make it when I'm not sure. You'll be faithful like you've been before. And I'll be honest, I feel like the hurt women are way more vindictive than the hurt men. I know for a fact that the places where I try to seek assistance from what I think are going to be good, godly Christian women, they've been the ones that have been stabbing me in the back and then blaming me, saying, it's her fault. It's her fault. She just doesn't pray hard enough. When really they're the ones that are kicking my feet out from underneath me instead of lifting me up as a sister in Christ. Thinking that they're toughening me up and teaching me lessons. That's not your place. It's just not. When I was teaching in the school system, I was one of the brave ones to start doing the gentle teaching. I would work with some of the most traumatized children in the school system, all the ones that were in and out of juvenile detention centers, in and out of the mental health facilities, the ones that were abused in the foster care system, you know, the really wounded children, and that nobody knew how to do. They'd throw their hands up in the air, I don't know what to do with this one. I said, give them to me. And then I would create sensory friendly environments. I would keep food available to them. I would love them back to life and nurture them to want to try to live whether the other people liked it or not. Because believe me, I had people that were complaining about it. They'd be like, you're too nice on them. I'm like, do you understand that school, like for me, school was my safe space. And now for these kids, the school's not even a safe space. They have no safe space. And we wonder why suicide rates are high. The adults have to do better. Instead of toughening the children up, we need to soften the hearts of the adults and provide the comfort, the shelter, the food, the love that they need that they can't get elsewhere. That's the change that I want to see humanity make. So here's the next song I got. I Want to Seek You First by Lauren Daigle. Before I bring my need, I will bring my heart. Before I lift up my cares, I will lift up my arms. I want to know you. And that means you have to get out of your comfort zone, people. Got to get out of your comfort zone. God says, if you want to be like Jesus, then you have to give up and die to the self. You have to kill the ego that wants the comforts and the accolades and the pats on the back. You have to let go of that because it's not about you. I want to find you in every season, in every moment. Before I bring my need, I will bring my heart and seek you first. Before I speak a word, let me hear your voice, and in the midst of pain, let me feel your joy. Oh, I want to know you. I want to find you in every season, in every moment. Before I speak a word, I will bring my heart and seek you. You are my treasure and my reward. Let nothing ever come before you. I know the woman that's supervising the homeless shelter that I seek refuge from when I can, desperately wants me to be in a slave system and you need to go focus on making money and take care of yourself. And I'm like, I'm supposed to be a prayer warrior right now. I'm supposed to be praying all the time. I'm supposed to be accessing the free help that's available in order for me to then spend my time in prayer and meditation and trying to anchor in the peace and the light and the humanity. And so, yeah, she might be religious and political and have money and be a prominent person in this society, but she's still a very wounded woman because her priorities aren't where my priorities are. And it's almost like the sisters that, was it Mary and Martha, when Jesus came to them, and Martha was so worried about the provisions and cooking and cleaning and doing all the work to prepare for Jesus to be there, that she got mad at Mary, who was actually sitting at Jesus's feet learning the lessons instead of worrying about all the logistics. And that's how I kind of feel that me and this woman are, that she's like Martha and I'm like Mary. And it's not to say that either of us are wrong. There has to be a healthy balance. But what can I do when she's in control over me? And I need the men to take back control. Men are supposed to be leading. It's just the hearts of men don't always have the best intentions. And so then some of them get tired and let women take over. And when the women are wounded, then everybody gets wounded. So I'm having faith that the team that is over her are going to see the divinity in me and start to really put in changes that are going to help lift me up rather than keep me ostracized and say, well, she's out in the wilderness, let her figure it out, wander in the wilderness, because that's not the way God taught or intended for men to lead. That might be what they were taught by hurt humans. That was not what God was instructing for the hearts of godly men. So then this song came on the radio, and this one it was like, yes. It's Demons by John Michael Howell and Josiah Queen. It says, oh why does it feel just like a war zone in my mind? as I fight the fight and try to hear your voice through all the lies. He heard my heart and heard my cry, even heard my whisper in the night. And I prayed, I heard my Father say, tell those demons, run and hide. They tremble at the name of Jesus every time. Fear ain't got a home here up inside my mind. Darkness has to leave up in this light. Oh, I was a prisoner in my own mind, a hostage every night. My loneliness, it kept me haunted by a darkness all my life. Then I heard a voice down in my bones, felt this sense of peace that I had never known. What I've learned over the last 3 years of me wandering lost, not really lost, being led by the Holy Spirit and led by the archangels and my guardians, my ancestors, and the ascended masters. By getting closer to them, I am able to see things so much more clearly than when I was going to church and when I was singing the hymnals and I was doing the worship services and I was going on the mission trips and I was, there are some things to be said and learned through my Martha stage, but there's something so much more meaningful and fulfilling in my Mary stage. So I'm grateful for both. And so I lift up the hurting men and women in prayer, for I know they know not what they do. They just are repeating generational cycles that they haven't been brave enough to face and overcome and conquer. And then I got this song. This one was channeled when I was doing my aqua aerobics. It was Working 9 to 5 by Dolly Parton. It says, tumble out of bed and I stumble into the kitchen. Pour myself a cup of ambition and yawn and stretch and try to jump to life. Jump in the shower and the blood starts pumping. Out on the street, the traffic starts jumping with folks like me on a job from 9 to 5. Working 9 to 5. What a way to make a living, barely getting by. It's all taking and no giving. They just use your mind and they never give you credit. It's enough to drive you crazy if you let it. 9 to 5 for service and devotion. You would think that I would deserve a fair promotion. Want to move ahead, but the boss won't seem to let me. I swear sometimes that man is out to get me. They let you dream just to watch them shatter. You're the step on the boss man's ladder. But you've got dreams he'll never take away. And in the same boat with a lot of your friends, waiting for the day that your ship will come in and the tide's gonna turn as it's all gonna roll your way. Now, I believe the reason why I got this channel message is because my ancestors and my guides were wanting me to prepare for reconnection with colleagues that I had in the school system here in this town, because again, I'm here on a healing journey. And I do believe that there were godly, light-bodied individuals in prominent positions above me in authority who realized that they did not protect me from the bullying. They ignored my cries for help, because for me as a soldier in the war, I'm not out here blubbering like some of the other women would be. And those women who turn on the waterworks and I can't do this, they're the ones that everybody helps, because it's like, okay, get her to shut up, let's give her what she wants, where I'm over here going, listen, I'm being very diplomatic and I'm being very upfront and I'm being very calm and level-headed, going, hi little rabbit, sorry, bird just flew right by me. And I'm over here like leadership going, okay, this is not okay, but because they want the crybaby to shut up, they're gonna do what she needs and they're gonna give her a pacifier. And it's like, okay, I can't work this way. And so people knew that God was working through me in the school system when I was helping create their alternative high school program. and yet they intentionally turned their backs on me, and they intentionally ignored me, and they intentionally were allowing abuse to happen. And I think Spirit's wanting me to prepare for this reunification, because there needs to be some repair and for healing to happen on both sides, and that the injustice the balance needs to happen. The scales of justice, Maya is demanding that compensation be given, and I refuse to go through the court system. I believe in the honor system. I believe in God's in control of it all, and I can spend years and thousands of dollars in court systems, and it's just going to be red tape and a circle jerk. So I believe that God is working on the hearts and the minds of those individuals that were in powerful positions, that had the ability to hear my voice, but then turned a deaf ear and closed off their heart to what I was saying, and that they've now maybe been brought to their knees, and that God's put it on their heart to come to me and make things right, because this is a time of reckoning, and the end of times is here, and we all need to be right with God. And so I am very much open to these conversations that desperately need to be had on both sides. I need the healing from it as well. I need to release the bitterness and the anger and the frustration, and I've done that, but unless you have the conversation with people, it still tends to kind of linger in your energetic field, and I want it completely out of my energy field, and I don't want either of us to go to our death regretting that we didn't have that conversation that needed to be had, and that we let time and distance just kind of ruin what could have been a very blessed connection. Okay, so when talking with people, tone reveals what's in your heart. I'm very perceptive. It's the autistic, ADHD, neurodivergence. I am so highly sensitive to energy that I am watching every micro expression, because I had to for safety for all these years. Working with some of the most dangerous people, being raised by some pretty dangerous people, I had to learn how to do this. So tone will reveal to me what's in your heart, which is why a lot of people don't want to talk to me. They'd rather just avoid me and go to their death having never acknowledged the wrongs that were done against me. But God's working on people now to come back to have those conversations. So when you speak to people, they can tell how you truly feel by how you say your words, what words you choose, and when they leave your mouth, they're paying attention to your body language. So I strongly encourage you to pray before you speak and to adjust your tone to improve how you communicate what's truly in your heart. And believe me, this is a learned skill, so you're going to make mistakes before you learn how to get it right. And one thing that I used to teach my students who were very hurt, wounded, angry, sad individuals was to use the acronym THINK. Before you say something, think to yourself, is it true? Is it helpful? Is it inspiring? Is it really necessary? And is it kind? If it does not check off all of those, then just don't say it. I would teach my children how to have a mouth guard, an imaginary filter, and I would tell my kids, think it, don't say it. Think it, don't say it. Because when you're autistic, I mean, you're blurting stuff out. You see it, you say it. You see it, you say it. So you have to teach them how to slow down those thoughts that they're getting, really pause before choosing their words and then expressing themselves. And if you know anybody who's ADHD, they're gonna say all kinds of stuff. So half the stuff you have to be able to filter out and not take personal. My son and I both loved the book and the movie of The Outsiders, and when he was in high school, I'd frequently remind him to stay gold, pony boy. This was my plea for him to hold on to his innocence, his sense of wonder, and his compassion despite the harsh realities of the world. He wanted to defend his friends friends. He wanted to defend his sisters. Now he wanted to also, kind of give them a hard time, but only he could give them a hard time. And when you have siblings, that's usually how it goes. But if anybody else was bullying them, he wanted to protect them, which then made him a target. And so we suffered a lot while in this town. And I mean, we probably would have suffered a lot no matter what town we were in. So I'm trying to let go of the attachment to the hurt, and trying to just really justify that it was all lessons that it would have happened in other towns as well. And so it all served its purpose, and my kids are amazing adults for having suffered and endured and overcome and really became champions in their own lives. So it was all worth it. It really was all worth it. And they're starting to understand that now that they are older. So my twin flame journey, my goodness, this has been a lot of twists and a lot of turns, like being in the Wizard of Oz with the yellow brick road that's just never ending and winding, and I'm trying to get to Oz, right? Want to meet the man behind the curtain. Well, I almost feel like my ancestors have been intentionally blindfolding me and spinning me around like the childhood game of pin the tail on the donkey, because when you're spiritually gifted, and you already know like everything that's going to happen, well, then what fun is that? So they're trying to make me come off of the battlefield and be more playful and be more in my childlike energy and carefree energy, because my divine counterpart is going to be the one who has to battle the spiritual wars for me and our family, and that I'm going to get to be his peace. I'm going to get to be his joy. I'm going to get to be the fun. And when he comes home from work, I get to create that loving environment where we just get to have our own little world away from everything outside of us. And so I'm trying to practice that now, and trying to not let the 3D reality, keep me trapped in a mental prison anymore. The spiritually presenting suitor options to me has been very intriguing, because they'll have me, like, they'll bring in the energies of people that are like potential suitors that aren't in my 3D reality, but I can feel their energy. I can actually telepathically hear into their thoughts, and then they'll be like, oh, what do you think about this one? And I'm like, no, I don't think so. And then they'll bring another one in, and then they'll be like, well, maybe, possibly, I don't know, we'll see. Put that one on the maybe list. And then they monitor them and their growth within their 3D realms. And then when time is right, the right one, right ones will get, it's kind of like the Bachelor dating, the Bachelorette or whatever, or the dating show back in like the 70s, or The Price is Right, or behind which curtain. To be like, well, I don't know, maybe it's a clunker, I don't know. So I'm having a lot of faith in the divine and my ancestors and the archangels, that the man that they've chosen for me, because I chose the first one and my picker was broken, but I'm allowing the divine matrix to choose the next one, and having a lot of faith that they're not going to do me wrong. I think they've got a couple solid choices. I think they got it down to like 2, maybe 3 that aren't going to run, that they're going to give me a chance, and then, then maybe they'll run. I don't know. One of them is going to stay, though. One of them is going to be like, she's my kind of crazy. All right, the next song that I got, and I think this one was a divine counterpart message, because it's been repeating for years for me, and it is the You're the One That I Want by Olivia Newton-John and John Travolta. So here is the lyrics. It says, I got chills, they're multiplying, and I'm losing control, 'cause the power you're supplying, it's electrifying. You better shape up, 'cause I need a man, and my heart is set on you. You better shape up, you better understand. To my heart I must be true. Nothing left for me to do. You're the one that I want. You are the one I want. Ooh, 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 honey, the one that I need. You are the one I need. Oh, yes, indeed. If you're filled with affection, you're too shy to convey. Because I know men have been burned by women, and they're like, oh, is she an illusion? Not. I'm just a conundrum. You're going to meditate my direction and feel your way, which is why I've left it up to the divine, because I need a man who follows his heart, who has an open heart, who has clear intentions of a godly, holy matrimony, that he's all in and not going to be looking around the corner for something better. So for those that are going to be coming forward to court me, I just want to say thank you for being brave enough to take a chance on me, because I know that it's probably a very scary leap of faith, and I know it's a scary leap of faith for me to just sit and receive. So I can only imagine that there's trepidation in the giving part as well. And then the last song that I had was channeled was Tears in Heaven by Eric Clapton. And it was, would you know my name if I saw you in heaven? Would it be the same if I saw you in heaven? I must be strong and carry on, 'cause I know that I don't belong here in heaven. Would you hold my hand if I saw you in heaven? Would you help me stand if I saw you in heaven? Time can bring you down, time can bend your knees, time can break your heart and have you begging, please. Beyond the door, there's peace, I'm sure, 'cause I know there'll be no more tears in heaven. And I know with my first marriage, he was very suicidal, and I always had to kind of talk him off the ledge, and had to boost up his self-esteem, and had to help him really overcome a lot of childhood wounds, a lot of different various types of abuse that he had suffered, that I've had to learn not to enable. I've had to learn how to have tough boundaries. I've had to learn to set my expectations high, because men will rise to the expectation, because women, we set the standard. And I've seen too many women who are just, and I've been there, I'd be like, he's good for a good time, I'll put him in my stables, and if I need a good time, I can call that one up. So, I mean, granted, like I said, I've been there, and in 2018 is when I went total celibate, and was just like, no, I want a godly man that's gonna love me until I die, and not cheat on me, and not do all the ugly things that most of these demiurge worshipers do. They go to church and they have the wife that has no idea that he's got mistresses and sleeping with the secretaries, and I'm not going to tolerate that. So anyway, enough of that. Let's talk about, this was my day 6 journal prompt using the tarot card stickers. So there was the layout. And number 1, it says, my dominant mental attitude is a blockage in creative energy, manifesting as burnout, which that's right on the money. A lack of follow-through or aggressive dictatorial leadership. And I do, mentally I get discouraged, and then I start to shut down because of the dictatorial leadership. I mean, it's a beautiful town, don't get me wrong, lots of wealth, lots of comforts, but the lack of spiritual awareness, the lack of heart-centered people. I mean, I'm doing videos, about, godly men and godly women, and you wouldn't believe the dirty looks that some of these rich churchgoers are giving me, because I am sitting, in a public area and irritating them while they're having conversations. And I'm just like, this is what I'm talking about. You guys are two-faced and think you're better than people, and then I have to remember I'm judging that. And then that creates the mental exhaustion. And I know that that's going to happen no matter where I go, because I'm going to be dealing with rich, pompous people everywhere I go. And God bless the man who marries me, because he's going to have to bribe me to go into public. Because I'm going to be like, I don't want to leave the house. I don't want to go. I know I have to, but I really don't want to. Really don't. Number 2. The emotions to control are a powerful transformation, the end of a major life cycle, and new beginnings. It's time to release the habits, relationships, or situations that no longer serve you to make way for personal growth. I know that I have to be able to sit at the table with people that I don't like, and I used to do it all the time, but I did it with an internal angst, a wall, a resentment, an anger, a bitterness that was always under the surface that they could tell was in my energy field. And now that that's all purged, now I could sit at those tables but be more empty on the inside, which is a good thing. We need to release and pour out that ugliness out of our own cup so it can be filled up with goodness. And I know that my divine counterpart is going to be protective of that cup because of the love that overflows from it. He's not going to want me to have to deal with the people that are going to try to break my cup, steal my cup, use my love, abuse my skills. That he really is going to be my protector and my provider. And I am so grateful for you, whoever you are. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Number 3. How to increase physical energy level is through celebration, homecoming, stability, and milestone achievements. It is a joyful period where your hard work pays off, allowing you to relax and enjoy a sense of community, harmony, and peace with loved ones. And I do know that, my family is going to be pulling together after the passing of my mother, and so I'm going to get to have those moments of just closeness with the people that I love, and then we will get to release anything that needs to be released and really bring us closer together. And I'm really truly blessed. Number 4. Where to show more passion and enthusiasm is in the voluntary pause, the surrender, and gaining a new perspective. It urges to let go of control, to release the limiting beliefs, and to view your current circumstances with an entirely different angle. And for anybody who hasn't gone on a soul retrieval journey and wants some help with that, you can reach out at homans.consulting@gmail.com, and I can send you some information on how I started my healing journey, and hopefully I can help you along the way with yours. All right, I gotta get to work soon, so let's get a message from the Ascended Masters in our Keepers of the Light Oracle. Let's see what message we get. All right, we have, let's see if I can say this, the Mahavatar Babaji, which is soul expansion. Your consciousness is expanding. You understand the connections between all things. And I think we need more people that really truly understand that in the spirit we truly are all one. So whatever pain you're inflicting on me, you're really inflicting on yourself. Which is why I am grateful that my ancestors are telling me that there is going to be healing and restitution with the individuals that were supposed to protect me in the school system. All right, we got the Work Your Light Oracle cards deck. So let's get a message on how we can work our light for the better of humanity. Let's see what flipped out. We got 2. Pleiades. It's a double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity. I said my soul is from the Pleiades star system. It's ancient, it's from Lemuria. My nephew, who is severely autistic and considered nonverbal, he's also from that time. Like, you should see him with the dolphins in like the aquarium and stuff. Like, the dolphins just love swimming by him, and he and I have this telepathic thing, and he and I just have such a special bond that I just absolutely love All right, and then we have leap. You go first, and the universe will catch you, which is what I'm trying to do, which is why I'm like, how do I leap without gas money? I'm supposed to cut ties and leave, but I really do think that I'm supposed to be patiently waiting for these relationships that were not good in the past to come forward, and then they're going to give me money, which will then allow me to move forward. Because I really do think I'm supposed to be with the Tim Tebow Foundation in Florida, and so I'm like, okay, how am I going to get there? What's this going to look like? And God keeps saying, I've got it under control. So I'm just like, okay, then I'm gonna focus on drinking my tea, doing my videos, and doing my yoga and my exercising, and I got my hamster wheel over here. Yeah, Crystal Alchemy Oracle. Let's see what the crystals have to tell us about our chakra system. Which chakra it is that we need to pay a little more attention to. It's got a message for us. Ooh. Well, both of these, believe it or not, are for the heart chakra. We have Rhodonite, which is forgiveness, trust, and unconditional love. And then we've got Malachite, which is for emotional protection, precision, and guidance. So I know that my guidance system had been shut down and burned out from being in my masculine energy for way too long. And so that's what I'm trying to heal, those father wounds and those mother wounds, to get my masculinity and femininity in balance. And that requires daily effort. To just don't, all of a sudden it's balanced and it's all good. No, it requires constant work. So now I've got the Human Spirit Oracle, learning to connect with the Great Spirit. Let's see what we get. You'll probably have to cut these shorter than I want in order for me to get to work. Because nobody's paying for my gas or paying for my exercise classes but me. And once my divine counterpart is here, he's going to take over helping me with this stuff. We've got Broken Open, and I believe that's a synchronicity that we've had before. So I'm not going to go ahead and reread that one. Pretty much clarifies that right now humanity is in a state of shattering masks, being able to see through the illusions, being able to get more in touch with the fact that we are all one, and that we are one family in spirit, and all this division and chaos is just hurting the kids and hurting our future and leading to mass extinction if we don't change the way we're doing things. All right, let me pull out another chakra oracle guidebook. This is one that I already have other videos for, and so you'll just take the keyword that we get and you'll search for that particular video, and it'll give you the deeper message behind it. Ooh, we have passion. So if you look for the video that says passion, then you will find out more about what they want us to know about that chakra. Okay, let's do message from the spirits of nature. A couple messages from my ancestors, and then we will close it out with a message from Archangel Raphael. I always like to kind of get a rounded perspective from all the different entities and deities. So let's see what nature has to say. It says cloud, imagination, number 7. Yeah, I know I'm supposed to be doing more meditation. And I'm like, how am I supposed to meditate? So, I mean, I do walking meditation. So while I'm exercising, I meditate. When I'm driving, I meditate. But you also got to be in your body to be able to do that. So I can't fully meditate. And then I'm also working. So then it's like, okay, how do we do all this? Which is why God said, it's time for you to have a divine counterpart. So that way you guys can balance each other out. And yeah. So thank you Thank you, Spirit. And we got number 7. We are drawn to the form and the formlessness of clouds, the majestic pillars with subtle contrasts of light and dark, the endless rows of wispy feathered fingers reaching across the sky, as well as the ominous darkened behemoths peering across the landscape, huffing and puffing to send the wind across the land as a portent of their arrival. Clouds both fascinate and frighten us, serving as an oracle of weather to come or reflecting one that has arrived. They provide endless entertainment through their shape-shifting, enticing our imagination to see various faces, animals, and landscapes, evolving from one configuration to another. Clouds are physical manifestations of a synergetic dance with the elements of water, earth, and air, serving to continually cycle the waters of the fair planet, an essential participant in the ongoing evolution of the land and the waters. And here's your message. Imagination is the bridge between ordinary reality and non-ordinary reality, the world of wonder and fascination. With a simple and slight shift of attention, one that can be sparked by the vision of clouds in the atmosphere, your mind and heart are taken to a different place. You're invited to let go of the usual and familiar and instead embrace the world of inconsistency or joining with the unfamiliar, broadening your perspective and taking on new adventures. Turn your eyes upward. What do you see? Clouds paint the sky, inspired by nature's limitless imagination, and no formation's ever the same. Yield to this urge to let it all go. Just wanted to take a moment and pray for whatever emergency is going on. Observe how water, earth, and air blend to create an elegant dance in the sky. Stretch your imagination and take action in creating that which you are inspired to do. It seems like we have constant servicemen that are being called to emergencies, and I look forward to a day when that's not the case. Write that book you've always wanted to write. See, that's what I'm supposed to be doing. How am I supposed to do that when I've got to worry about money and gas and memberships to exercise and Thank you, Lord, for your help. Okay, stretch your imagination. Paint the images in your mind that have urged you on to take a risk in this way. Celebrate by allowing your body to dance the way that it feels. Whatever begs your imagination to adventure into less than familiar territory, do it. All right, let's see. We've got, my ancestors. They said, don't forget us. We come first before you close it out. My mom wanted me to know that she's enjoying every minute of being an angel that can watch over me and protect me on the other side. God bless you. Thank you, Mother. All right, we've got this one. Let's get 2 more. Oop, that one threw itself out. So let's see what we get next. So my first ancestor message says the King of Clubs, which is Wands, is I'm calling in a mature, strategic leader who's ambitious, who sets goals, who has good plans. See, his strengths are my weaknesses, and my weaknesses are his strengths, and my strengths are his weaknesses. Yeah. We complement each other, okay? Well, that's all I know. The intellect, have mutual respect, power, and justice, because he's my justice and I'm his justice for all the ish that we've experienced in life, that we are destined for each other. God made us. This is like a science. Have you ever seen the movie Weird Science, where the guy's like dream up their dream woman. Well, that's why he and I are like, we dreamed each other up, and the universe is having to shape us into the right fit, you know. A protective partner and stability. See, he's gonna help me, and I'm gonna help him. All right, next came out, and this one flew out real fast. It was self-control, spiritual introspect, strength and effort, spiritual growth, control over destiny, self-reflection, overcoming obstacles, and victory through determination. And last one my ancestors wanted to share with us was the Six of Spades, which is swords. It says progress over perfection. One of my wounds is perfectionism. So progress, it's all about progress, as long as you're better than you were the day before, because this is just you versus you, not you versus anybody else. It says new love, promotion at work, healing and relief, moving forward, enjoying the ride, the journey of life, letting go to calmer waters, support and assistance, changing careers. See, I had to let go of my personal brand, my personal private practice, and then good will come. We have to let go of the old in order for the new to be granted. And moving on after struggle. So I know that the connections that are going to be making peace with me are necessary for all of us to be able to have the healing to move forward. Okay, now Archangel Raphael, and then I gotta get my butt on the road to get to work because I'm cutting it close. Luckily, my divine counterpart is going to be able to keep me organized with my schedule because I got too much to do and not enough time to do it, and he's going to help me really prioritize. All right, sobriety. Dear God and Archangel Raphael, thank you for adjusting my cravings in healthful directions that I only desire life-affirming foods and beverages. So I am so grateful that you're here in your healing journey, that you're taking the time to do what you need for your soul's expansion and growth, regardless of what anyone tells you. You know what's best for you, and keep shining your light as bright as you can, no matter how dark it gets. And I hope you have a blessed day.